How you doing? Friends, family, Facebook, YouTube. This is Ivan coming at you again today with another lesson. Sorry it's late. It's 12:01 in the morning, Sunday morning. I'm a very busy man. Tonight, this morning, 4th Ezra, 2nd Baruch. Now, the title today is Baruch, letter to the 10 tribes. Baruch's letter to the 10 tribes of the house of Israel. Now, this brother, he wrote a letter to us over 2,000 years ago. And I'm just now reading the letter. Read the letter. And I'm about to bring this letter before your face, before your ears right now, okay? Before I begin, I want to give thanks to the Most High, Ahaya, His Son Yeshua, and also the Ruach HaKodesh. We're going to be in 2nd Baruch, chapter 77. Second Baruch, chapter 77, verse number 1. And I, Baruch, went from there and came to the people. I assembled them from the greatest to the smallest and said to them, Hear, children of Israel, see how many you are who are left of the 12 tribes of Israel. For to you and to your fathers the Lord gave the Torah above all nations. For to you and to your fathers the Lord gave the Torah above all nations. Now we're going to precept that with Psalms 147, verse 19 and 20. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any other nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. So, Baruch is telling you that the Most High only showed the Torah, the Bible, unto the children of Israel. And he has not shown it to any other nation. Okay? Verse 4. And because your brothers transgressed the commandments of the Most High, he brought upon you and upon them vengeance, and had no pity on the former. And also the latter he gave into the captive, Salakia. And also the latter he gave into captivity, and did not leave a remnant of them behind. And see, you are here with me. If therefore you make your way straight, you will not also go away as your brothers went away, but they will come to you, because he is merciful whom you worship, and he is gracious in whom you hope, and he is true to the good and not evil. See, have you not seen what has befallen Zion? Or do you perhaps think that the place he sinned and therefore it is overthrown? Or that the land has acted foolishly and therefore was delivered up? Do you not know that it was because of your Salakia? Do you not know that it was because of your sin, because of you who sinned, that which did not sin was overthrown? And that because of those who acted wickedly, that which did not act foolishly was delivered up to its enemies. Now, with verse 11, we have a header here. It says, the people asked Baruch to write letters to the exiles, okay? Verse 11. And the whole people answered and said to me, everything we are able to remember of the good things that the mighty one have done unto us, we will remember, And those things that we do not remember, he knows in his mercy. Nevertheless, do this for us, your people. Write also to our brothers. Write also to our brothers in Babylon a letter of instruction and a book of hope, so that you strengthen them too before you no longer walk among us. Let me repeat that. Write also to our brothers in Babylon a letter of instruction and a book of hope, so that you strengthen them before you no longer walk among us. So this letter, this book is going to make us a strong nation, okay? Verse number 13. For the shepherds, Salakia. Let's drop down to verse number 17. I'm sorry. Now listen, pay attention to this. Pay very attention to this. Chapter 77, verse 17. Nevertheless, I am writing also to your brothers in Babylon, as you have said to me, and will send by means of men. Now, remember the quarter, okay? And will send by means of men, and I will write to the 9.5 tribes in this manner, and send by means of a bird. Remember the quarter. And on the 21st day of the 8th month, I, Baruch, came and sat under a oak in the shade of the branches, and nobody was with me, but I was alone. And I wrote these 2 letters. One I sent by means of an eagle. Remember that quarter, okay? To the 9.5 tribes. And the other I sent to those who were in Babylon by means of 3 men. Now, Baruch is talking about the European Empire, okay? Let's go back up to verse 17. Nevertheless, I am writing also to your brothers in Babylon, as you have said to me, and will send by means of men. Now, when the Europeans came here, 1492, Christopher Columbus, they had some books with them. Bible. Later, they found the Book of Mormon, the second stick. And also other books that was given to us by the Europeans, okay? Now, Baruch is saying that we're going to receive these books by the way of men, by means of a bird, of an eagle. Where's that quarter? Every book that we have, that we read, comes from the Europeans by ways of an eagle. Okay? Now, like I said, Baruch wrote this letter, this book, over 2,000 years ago to the 10 tribes. And I'm just now reading this. I'm just now reading this right now. Damn. Let's start over verse number 17. Nevertheless, I am writing also to your brothers in Babylon, as you have said to me, and will send by means of men. And I will write to the 9.5 tribes in this manner, and send by means of a bird. And on the 21st day of the 8th month, I, Baruch, came and sat under the oak in the shade of the branches, and nobody was with me, but I was alone. And I wrote these 2 letters. One I sent by means of an eagle to the 9.5 tribes, and the other I sent to those who were in Babylon by means of 3 men. And I called the eagle and spoke to him these words. The Most High has made you, that you should be higher than all the birds. That you should be higher than all the birds. Now, let's precept that phrase right there. We're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse number 6. Y'all bear with me. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Above all people upon the face of the earth. Okay? Now, let's go back to that phrase here. That you should be higher than all the birds. That we should be above all the people upon the face of the earth. Okay? And now, go and do not tarry in any place, nor enter a nest, nor stand on any tree until you will cross the breadth of the many waters of the river Euphrates, and have gone to that people that lives there, and cast to them this letter. And cast to them this letter. Like I said, this is 2,000 years old, and I'm just now getting this letter. And I'm just now reading this letter to you. For remember that at the time of the flood, Noah received the fruit of the olive from the dove when he sent it out from the ark. But also the ravens provided for Elijah when they were bringing him food, as they had been commanded. Also Solomon at the time of his kingship commanded a bird to every place he wished to send or from which to seek something, and it subjected itself to him as he commanded it. And now let it not worry you, and do not turn to the right or to the left, but fly and go on to the straight way, so that you keep the commandment of the mighty one as I told you. Now, this is going to be the greeting of the letter. Thus speaks Baruch, son of Neriah, to the brothers who were led away captive. Mercy and peace be with you. I remember, my brothers, the love of him who created us, who loved us from the beginning and never hated us. Rather, even more so, he chastised us. And truly I know indeed that we are all bound, the 12 tribes, by one bond, just as we are born of one Father. Therefore, I have been all the more concerned to leave you the words of this letter before I die. Let me repeat that. Therefore, I have been all the more concerned to leave you the words of this letter before I die, so that you will be consulted regarding the evils that have reached you, and also be grieved over the evils that have befallen your brothers, and further, that you will consider the judgment of him to be just, who decreed for you that you be led away captive. For what you have endured is less than what you have committed, in order that at the last times you may be found worthy of your fathers. Therefore, if you consider these, that you are suffering now for your good, so that at the end, Salaki, you will not be judged and tormented, then you will receive Then you will receive eternal hope. If, above all, you remove from your heart the vain error because of which you went away from here. For if you do these, he will always remember you in this way. He who at all times confessed on our behalf to those who were superior to us, that he would never forget or forsake our seed, that he would never forget or forsake our seed, but rather with much mercy again assemble all of those who have been scattered. Let's go back up. Let's repeat this. That he would never forget or forsake our seed. Let's precept that with Psalms 94:14. Psalms 94:14. For the Lord will not cast off his people. For the Lord will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance. The Most High just punished us. He ain't casting us off. He ain't choosing another people over us. We just was misbehaving. Okay? That whipping's over with. We got to turn back to the Most High now. Okay? And to you Christians out there, there's no such thing as a spiritual Israel. Okay? We are Israel. All right? Now, chapter 79, verses number 1. Therefore, my brothers, you should know, first of all, what befell Zion, that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up upon us. For we had sinned against him who made us, and had not kept the commandments that he had commanded us, and yet he has not chastened us as we would have deserved. For what has befallen you, we too suffered even more. For it has befallen us too. And now, my brothers, when the enemies had surrounded the city, angels of the Most High were sent, and they overthrew the fortification of the strong wall, and threw down those solid iron corners that could not be uprooted. Nevertheless, they hid the holy implements, lest they be polluted by the enemies, the Gentiles. And when they had done these things, then they delivered to the enemies the overthrown wall, and the looted house, and the burnt temple, and the conquered people, for them to be delivered up, lest the enemies should boast and say, thus we have been able to lay waste in war, even the house of the Most High. Your brothers too they bound and brought to Babylon, and made them live there, and we have been left here, very few. This is the sorrow about which I write to you, for I truly know that the inhabitants of Zion are a consummation for you. As long as you knew that it prospered, this was more than the sorrow you endured for being removed from it. Chapter 81, verses 1. This is a long letter, guys. But also about the consummation, hear the word. For I was mourning over Zion, and I sought mercy from the Most High. And I said, will these exist for us until the end? And will these evils always come upon us? And the mighty one acted accordingly, Salakia, to the abundance of his mercies, and the Most High, according to the greatness of his compassion. And he revealed to me the word, so that I should be consoled. And he showed me visions, so that I should no longer be saddened. And he made known to me the mysteries of times, and the event of the season he showed me. Therefore, my brothers, I write to you, how you may be consoled regarding the abundance of sorrow, Salakia. So you should know that our Creator, For you should know that our Creator will surely avenge us on all of our enemies, according to all that they have done to us and among us. Let me repeat verse number 2. For you should know that our Creator will surely avenge us on all of our enemies, according to all that they have done to us and among us. And even more so, that the consummation which the Most High has made is near, and his mercies which will come, and the consummation of his judgment is not far. For now we see the abundance of the prosperity of the nations, while they act wickedly, but they are like a breath. Now, Baruch is saying that the Most High is surely going to take revenge for what the enemies have done to us. Okay? Now let's read about what Christ is going to do to our enemies. Let's go to page 130, Second Baruch. Second Baruch, chapter 72. And we're going to read verse 1 through 6. Now we're going to read about what Christ is going to do to the other nations, when he takes vengeance on them. All right? Hear then also about the bright waters that will be at the consummation after these black waters. This is the word. After the signs have come of which you were told before, when the nations will be agitated. What does that mean? Feeling or appearing troubled or nervous. The other nations, they're going to be troubled. They're going to be nervous. They're going to be scared as hell. Okay? The time of my Messiah will come, and he will call all of the nations, some of whom he will spare, and some of whom he will kill. These things then are coming upon those nations that will be spared by him. Every nation that has not known Israel and has not trodden down the seed of Jacob will be spared. This is because some of all the nations will be subject to your people. But all those who have ruled over you or have known you, all of them will be delivered up to the sword. So what Baruch is what he's saying is, any nation that touched us during slavery, the Most High is going to kill them. But the other nations that didn't really touch us, they're going to be spared. All right? They're going to be spared. So Gentiles, if you're listening to me right now, you better repent. You better repent for your sins, the sins of your forefathers. You need to get baptized, keep the commandments, and cling on to the house of Jacob. Okay? If you want to be saved. Because the Most High ain't playing. He's about to kill. He's about to kill these nations. All right? Now, 2 Baruch, chapter 82, verse 4. And we face the abundance of their power while they act wickedly. But they are like an abomination. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 40, verses 15 through 17. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing, and vanity. That would be Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15 through 17. Now, verse number 5. And we see the resolution of their might, while they oppose the mighty one every year. But they will be reckoned like spittle. But they will be reckoned like spittle. Like spit, okay? Let's go to 2nd Ezra. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verses 54 through 59. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this because I have spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou hast made the world for our sakes. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, these Gentiles, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us, and to devour us. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? Now, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verses 54 through 59. Now, let's get back into 2nd Baruch here. And we reckon the glory of their greatness, while they do not keep the statutes of the Most High. While they do not keep the statutes of the Most High. We all know that the Gentiles, they don't keep the statute of the Most High unless we show them how to, okay? But like smoke, they will pass. Let's go to Psalms chapter 50, verse number 16. But unto the wicked God said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Okay? The Gentiles, they shouldn't be teaching and preaching from this book. They shouldn't be pastors of a church if they're not keeping the law, statute, and commandments of this book and also living by them. Okay? And we reflect on the comeliness of their beauty while they live in abominations. But like the grass that withers, they will dry up. And we reckon the hardness of their cruelty, while they do not call to mind the end, but like the wave that passes, they will be broken. And we discern the pride of their power, while they deny the goodness of God, He who gave it to them. But like the cloud that passes, they will pass. For the Most High surely hastens His times, and He surely brings about His seasons. Now listen, I'm going to stop right here. This is going to be part 1 because I am at the 30-minute mark. All right? Stay tuned for part 2.